new COVID-19
Meanwhile, differing guidelines from simultaneous news conferences.
First, I realize that we're dealing with a situation that a lot of Texans are extremely concerned about.
As the governor and mayor were announcing plans to fight COVID-19 here in San Antonio.
The state of Texas has been prepared. We continue to be prepared. We are having this meeting today to ensure that we remain ahead of the curve.
COVID-19 is here. This is the new norm. Everyone in the world is giving this speech, and now I have to give mine. All right, guys, I don't know if y'all know, but Paul had to go home today with a fever. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but we need to be checking the daily messages, our emails, and any updates every shift. You know, this isn't a joke. The Chiefs made it loud and clear that we need to be checking that every shift, no excuses. So do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Times are changing. We absolutely need to make sure that we're wearing our appropriate PPE. All right, guys, we know that every call we make doesn't require the same PPE. So do proper assessment, look at your dispatch notes to make sure we completely protect ourselves, because we know that this virus is no laughing matter. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just remember, protect yourselves and protect your families.
I ran out of mask already.
We're out of mask? Did you talk to C-Shift or talk to Cap?
Yeah, but we shouldn't have ran out that quick though.
I don't know, man. You're gonna have to talk to Cap.
Are you having difficulty breathing or shortness of breath? No, okay. Any other flu-like symptoms like sore throat, runny nose? And have you been outside the U.S.? Recently, last 14 days, okay. But you definitely were in contact with somebody that was exposed.
Hey, we just got an additional note on this run. It shows the patient has difficulty breathing with a fever of 101 and has body aches.
Hey, Captain, it sounds like it could be COVID. Do you want us to put our PPE on now?
Let's wait until we get on scene and assess what's going on. Plus, I don't want to tear the PPE when we get out of the unit.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Fire department!
Thank God you're here.
Let's keep our social distance and tell me what's going on. What's happened?
My son, he's not feeling well and I don't know what to do. He has body aches and he's having trouble breathing. He has a temperature of 101.
Okay, well, we can definitely help you. Let's start out by giving you these two masks. If you'll put one on you and one on your son, and we'll be right back.
Okay, please hurry.
Okay.
Dive into the unknown. No more fear, only hope. In the end, nothing holds us down.
Miles, the ambulance is here. They're gonna take you to the hospital, but they want us to wear these masks, okay? It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna stay with you.
All right, back from China 5 days ago. Are you also in contact with anybody suspected of or under investigation for the COVID virus? Yes, you are? Okay. I need you to stay where you are, and we have units on the way to help you out.
Sir. He's not breathing, he's got no pulse.
Man, I remember when we used to just rush in and help, but times have changed. Now, we have to protect ourselves so we can protect others. This new PPE is critical.
Okay, how can I help you? Fever and cough for the past 3 days. Any other flu-like symptoms? Sore throat? All right, we have units on the way. Is he sitting down, do you know?
These gentlemen are here to help you.
Hello, Mr. Marquez.
Oh my God. Jennifer, please get my wife.
I'm right here, honey.
It's okay, man. We're here to help Your husband's in great hands. I promise you we know how to take care of this situation.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Marquez, we just want to stay calm. I understand you're not feeling well. Let's go ahead and take you to the hospital.
Oh my God, do I have the virus?
Well, we don't know. You'll have to be evaluated at the hospital.
Am I gonna die?
No, you're not going to die, but we have a stretcher right out here in the hall and we're ready to take you to the hospital. The best thing for you to do is remain calm, okay? So if you want to go ahead and get up, and we'll move you into the hall and get you on the stretcher.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're going to take him out the back door. Hey, Mark, we got this. We don't want to expose your partner. These are crazy times. We have a new invisible threat. And yes, we have to put more protection on, and it takes time. But ultimately, when we limit our exposure, we protect ourselves, our families, and the public.
Hello, my name is Michael Hinojosa, and I am the Division Chief of Training for the San Antonio Fire Department. We have had a number of near misses in the SAFD. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate steps taken to protect you, your crew, the citizens we serve, and most importantly, your family at home from a potential COVID-19 infection. Now that you have seen the video, a number of points need to be stressed. Screenings at the start and midpoint of your shift. Stay informed. Check your morning messages for updates. Disinfect your unit. Deny entry to the station and your scene to all non-essential personnel. Conserve and protect your levels of PPE. Utilize a single firefighter as a scout while the crew stay at the unit. Do not don your PPE until you receive a report back from the forward firefighter. The information will determine the correct number of personnel needed at the scene for patient care and transfer. The firefighter can also assess for an alternative route to the patient. Perform a distance assessment of no less than 6 feet with a single firefighter, regardless of the nature of the call. Proper doffing of gear. And return unused clean gear to your inventory. Our first defense is a temperature screening immediately upon arrival to work prior to entering the living spaces of the station. This pertains to all uniforms to include PD and walk-ins no matter the nature of the complaint. SAFD personnel will take a second temperature 12 hours after shift change. Each time the temps are taken, they will be logged in SAFD checklist through check.strac.org. If the firefighter registers a 99.6 or higher, the chain of command will immediately be notified and the firefighter will be sent home. They will receive a phone call to continue the screening for COVID criteria. There is a national shortage of PPE, leaving all responders scrambling for the same resources. If we are not vigilant in the use of our PPE, we will not be able to continue our mission to serve the citizens of San Antonio. Maintaining an up-to-date inventory of the PPE at your stations helps our department establish what the burn rate of PPE is. As the captain discussed during the team meeting, we must assess the situation prior to donning our PPE. A good practice would be to send a firefighter to scout the scene and do a distance assessment at a minimum of 6 feet. A good comparison would be to treat each run as a hazmat situation. You need to correctly identify the problem, select the appropriate PPE, determine the number of personnel necessary to mitigate, and then take action. You do not need to wear the full PPE ensemble to every run, nor should you don the gear prior to arriving at the scene. Hazmat does not don the level A suits at the station. You need to avoid putting a mask in your pocket for that just in case. Masks can get damaged or forgotten, resulting in an accelerated usage rate. If you have a mask available or on standby and don't use it, return the mask to your inventory. In this scene, the company officer is monitoring his screen for updates and sharing them with his crew. This information was used to guide the company officer's decision to don a mask prior to going to the front door, but not all of the PPE ensemble. If you notice in the background, the firefighter has not yet donned any of his PPE pending the screening and is keeping a safe distance. Only 2 personnel made the approach, and the company officer immediately informed the mother of the patient to maintain a social distance. If the notes do not give any indication of signs and symptoms relating to COVID, send a firefighter to determine the nature of the call by performing a distance assessment at no less than 6 feet. The firefighter can then report back to the unit and recommend whether or not PPE will be necessary and the number of personnel needed. It is only when the captain confirms that this could be a COVID patient does he have another firefighter and himself don the medical PPE and utilizing the minimum amount of personnel. To minimize exposure risk, he also asked the mom to put a mask on her son and herself. The company officer also shared with the EMS crew that they will be transferring the patient to the unit for them, relieving the need of the second EMS crew member and conserving PPE. In this scene, dispatch notified the responding company that the patient met the criteria for full PPE. One person from the crew should still find the shortest route to the patient, confirm that full PPE will be needed, determine how many personnel will be needed, and then relay this information back to the crew. If the notes do not support COVID protective measures, send a firefighter forward to scout the scene, perform a distance assessment at no less than 6 feet. Report back to the crew the level of PPE needed and if an alternative path to the patient is available. Special care must be taken to make sure our personnel don't compromise their PPE during a priority 1 call. If your PPE is compromised, immediately get with the on-scene medical officer for direction. During this run, the responding company receives information on the run notes that the rear of the facility is the shortest route and the patient is positive for COVID criteria. Responders should send a firefighter to the office to confirm the location of the patient. This firefighter can have a mask available but not donned. The firefighter will determine if an alternative route to the patient is available to first responders and then initiate a distance assessment with the patient to confirm the PPE and staffing needs of the scene. If notes do not specify where the patient can be found or the shortest route to the patient, or insufficient information is provided to determine if COVID precautions are necessary, send one firefighter in to get this information. The firefighter can then make patient contact and do a distance assessment from greater than 6 feet. Once the information needed is obtained, relay the information back to the crew. If possible, have the patient brought out to you. Also minimize contact with personnel other than the patient. I cannot stress enough how important it is to preserve our cache of PPE. Steps you can take are: do not automatically don PPE for every call. Send a single firefighter to the scene as a scout and initiate a distance assessment at no less than 6 feet. Report the PPE and staffing needs to the crew. Minimize the number of personnel that will make patient contact. If you're unsure as to whether or not you are exposed, a medical officer should be on scene and can assist you. Governments at all levels are committing a significant amount of resources towards research and mitigation of this problem. The result is continuously changing information. To keep up with changes in response, PPE, and protocols, as a crew, you should read the morning messages. A link with the most up-to-date information will also be added to Target Solutions. Thank you and stay safe.